Welcome to part 3 of the pond build. Today I'm going to be sorting out the edges of the pond. The original plan was to actually kind of lift up this soil and shove the line out underneath. I actually tried to do that, but this soil was just far too crumbly and it just really wasn't working out. So what we've decided to do is put compost all the way around, like over there, and then put a layer of turf over the top to kind of hide the edging. First of all, going to work on the waterfall, and I've got some rocks for that. I've just been up to the garden centre and I've got some nice rocks. So I've got 4 large rocks here, just to show you the size. So they're fairly big, they're not huge, but hopefully there'll be some nice character boulders and it'll bring the waterfall out a lot more and make it look a lot more natural. I wanted kind of a sheet effect of water. So I've got 2 pieces of slate here. This one's got a nice cut straight edge, so hopefully that'll make a nice cascade. And it's pretty level. I'll level it out properly in the pond. And I've also got another cascade stone here. So I'm hoping for 2 little mini waterfalls. The other thing I got today, I got the turf and I got the compost, but what I also got is some proper water lilies. The water lilies I used to have, I've still got them, they're over there in that tub, but I think they're actually dwarf water lilies. They've never flowered and the leaves are only a quarter the size of these. These have really big nice leaves. I've got 2 of them and I've just put them in the deep part of the pond. The leaves aren't at the surface because the container that they were grown in was a bit shallower than this, but they have got some new leaves coming up, so they should reach the surface in the next few days. These have also got a few flower buds as well, so hopefully we'll get some flowers on this pond. It is looking pretty bad at the minute, but once all the edging's hidden and the waterfall's made, it should look a lot better. So stay tuned. Okay, so I've started making the waterfall now. I dug out the soil, ensuring that the liner went up the sides so I didn't lose any water. And I've just started placing the boulders down the sides. It looks alright. It wasn't exactly what I had in my mind, but I think it's alright. I'm just going to go down to the beach sometime, probably this week, and get some cobbles, and then I'll either cement the cobbles in or I'll use some waterfall foam to secure them. I haven't been able to find any waterfall foam in the shops, so I'll have to get it off eBay. But it looks alright. There's a few little cascades there, and hopefully those cobbles will hide the liner. So I'm just continuing to do that, and then I'll put compost around here and I'll put the turf down. Okay, so I've put 2 strips of turf either side of the pond, and in the bits that were too narrow to put turf, I put down some compost and some grass seed. So in a couple of weeks we'll have a nice lawn around the pond, right up to the edge. There'll still be a bit of liner showing, so I'm thinking about putting rocks all the way around. I'm not too sure on that though. Also the lilies will grow up to the surface and we should get some flowers soon. The waterfall it isn't finished. I've still got to fill in that area there and just around between the cracks of the rocks. So I'll have to go to the beach to get a few more flat rocks. And I'm also waiting for some waterfall foam to arrive from eBay. And basically what that does is it fills up all the little cracks between the rocks and it prevents the water from flowing underneath, because if I was to run water through it at the minute, the water would go straight under the rocks and into the pond. I actually want it to cascade over the rocks so you get a nice effect. So that'll be arriving in the next few days, and finally the waterfall will be up and running. I'll just take you in for a side shot of the waterfall here. To prevent leakages, I've actually put the liner up the sides here, about 3 or 4 centimeters, so there's hardly any chance of it leaking. You can see there's liner between the rocks there, going quite high up, and in the back and then around here. And I've disguised it on the sides by putting rocks over it and backfilling with soil. So the sides look fairly natural, and over the next few days I'm just going to get some river cobbles or some flat pieces of slate like that, and I'm just going to put them down there and fill in the gaps with waterfall foam. so it looks fairly natural. I know it isn't the best waterfall in the world, but I'm pretty pleased with it, and it should look okay once it's up and running. So I'm just kind of filling up the pond a bit more, just so it can get as high as possible to hide most of the liner. And I mentioned if all the liner isn't covered, then I'll just put some rocks around the outside. I'll be moving the water irises and all those other plants and the fish back in the pond once the waterfall is working. So I guess that's it for this update. I hope you liked the video. I will accept good and bad criticism. Just tell us what you think. I know the edges aren't very good at the minute, but I'll improve those. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Bye.